Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwadler, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have a very special guest, Dr. Cindy Gordon. She is joining us from Toronto, and she's the CEO of an amazing revenue engine called SalesChoice. Welcome, Cindy.
Thanks, Gerard. Good to be here with you on a Friday afternoon.
You've created a revenue engine that, according to your website at least, it says 91% forecasting accuracy. How do you achieve that?
First of all, it's only as good as the data. Let's be clear, right? So we have to be very focused on finding the right buyer profile, some really good baseline data. Typically, when we plug in, we get to levels of about 75%, but we get to 91, 95, and actually one account we're at 100%. Because we analyze the data that's most significant to the AI patterns, that gives us the clue to really double down and get those right. Rather than trying to get everything right, get the critical few. We influence so that the job descriptions get changed. We look at their KPIs. If they don't have some of the KPIs that we know are best practices, we guide them. So I would say what we've done is not just deployed a software platform that really can work well, but we look around the edges, because the hard part is the people and the behavioral change.
99% adoption rate of Salesforce once they go to SalesChoice. Why is that?
When sales professionals start to see that what we're giving them is, I would call it a window pane, to say, if you focus on these critical few, this is your pathway of least resistance to get to a win. That's where our science maybe is a little bit differentiated. The hard part, though, honestly, is the leaders need to be spending the time to understand the significance of data patterns and thinking, right? So integrating our science into the weekly reviews is super important. You need to have, I'd say, the shift in the dialogue with the sales professionals in a cadence that resonates. And, unless you change that, we can't always get to those levels. But when you start to see that dialogue shift, what happens is the sales professional starts to realize, geez, I've got some candy here that can help me.
You also talk about responsible AI. What do you mean by that?
First of all, we're not black box AI. That's point number one. Second of all is that we expose what's in the AI data model, and we verify with our scientists, and we educate the client. The whole objective is for them to understand that they have a voice, and they bring in their intuition. And pretty well all of our accounts, when we sit down and we go through the attributions, they have knowledge. Some of the knowledge is still tacit in their own heads. And they basically say, you know what, those particular fields are legacy fields, and we haven't taken them out of Salesforce. The AI algorithm is only as good as what it sees, but that kind of dialogue builds trust. We sign off, then we, redo the model again. And we then look at the predictions, and then we have a final discussion with them. Are we set so that machine learning can go? And then we monitor every 3 months. As we have learned that the models can drift. The bottom line, I would say, is just the responsible AI is we have a corporate policy on ethical AI that we publish as well. We work very, very hard on educating our clients on responsible AI, and we're really taking the focus on privacy, the explainability, the transparency, but also the accountability, so that leaders understand unless they change their behaviors, we're not going to get the optimal outcomes. And I think that change, that's where we get the uplift in our accounts.
Can you give me an example from the perspective of a sales leader who has deployed SalesChoice and how it has changed their leadership style?
One individual in particular said, we can do this, but I'm not too confident this is going to work. But educating them a little bit on statistics has also made a bit of a difference, I think, Gerard, where one of the individuals now understands significant factors, understands histograms, understands distributions, and can see outliers. So part of it has been educating them to understand patterning recognition and spatial recognition in data. So that to me has been interesting, where one person, I would say, was more 100% relationship centric. And it's not to say relationships aren't important, but educating and uplifting their knowledge on the science and understanding that bringing those two aspects together, you're actually in a much stronger position. One other behavior that I've seen with one of the finance individuals, where he says, let's see what the coach says. And I think in time, the analysts will start asking more questions, especially for mid to large companies or publicly traded. Are you using AI predictive forecasting to guide your decision making?
You're offering, in essence, three services. SalesChoice, where you have insights. That is an incredible achievement in such a short time to create a comprehensive solution where sales organization can install that engine, connect it to Salesforce.com, and get ROI within less than 2 months.
Usually the return on investments is just 2 deals, but the ROI is a no-brainer. The challenge is ensuring that the data is in good enough quality so, AI is demonstrating value and then influencing them to start changing some of their leadership and operational practices. And that's where the magic, I think, is.
So where can people learn more?
You just go to www.saleschoice.com.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Gerard. Really appreciate the time. Nice seeing you. Have a great weekend.